Hello everyone, this is John Corey Jackson, and this is Everyday Living with John, where I share with you faith-based biblical principles that you can apply to your everyday life. So, this is just a random video that I want to share with you guys, and I want to see how you feel about this, and if you feel the same way as I do. And it's about suffering. And of course, I will lead with this. There's no suffering worse on the earth than our brothers and sisters that are being slain, that are going through death threats, difficulties, limbs being cut off, and things of that nature. We're not suffering to the point of bloodshed. So I want to draw that distinction because, of course, even though I personally, I'm not going to be honest with you guys, I won't want that. Of course, I'm not going to dismiss the opportunity for God to be glorified, but at the same time, if I had a personal choice, I wouldn't want a limb to be cut off because I proclaim the word of Jesus. So suffering in that regard is not what most of us go through. Suffering is we're going through trials, difficulties in our lives that we don't understand. We may have been faced with a divorce. We may have been faced with a child going to jail. We may have been faced with car breaking down or troubles on our jobs or issues in our families. So this is the kind of suffering I'm referring to, and it's not pleasant. It's not good to experience where I feel like I'm doing all I can humanly and things are still going wrong. I'm still suffering. I'm just going through a tough season in my life. So the reason why I had this thought today is because I had a situation and I was at work and I got frustrated with this particular situation I'm in at work. And I'm feeling like I'm giving all of my heart and soul into my work, and I don't see the benefit of or the fruit of the results. So I was frustrated. I was like, "What's the use? What's the use of me working here? What's the use of me keep on doing this?" And I feel like I'm not being compensated as much as I should be. So that was my thought, and I'm asking God, I'm like, why am I going through this? Is it something? And this is another thing. Is it something that I'm doing, or is it something that God has put me in of my doing, or for His will, or for both? So God can use what we're going through, even if it's our fault, and get glory out of it. So just be aware of that. And the verse I want to bring to you guys, because I was trying to look for a verse that's kind of in the vein of what I want to say, and I came up with 1 Peter 1 through 7. Excuse me, 1 Peter 1 7, and this is New Living Translation. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. So in regards of that verse just alone, we need to make sure that our motives are pure and that our focus is on Christ. And that's not easy when you're going through difficulties and circumstances, because oftentimes we want to pout. Oftentimes we want to have a pity party. And there's going to be times where we just need to cry and let those things out, those emotions out. So it's not easy to just be in a place all the time where I'm thanking God, I'm in a trial. No, that's not. You're human. You're going to feel the emotions of being in that difficulty or circumstance. And it continues to say in the verse, 1 Peter 1 through 1 and 7, it is being tested as fire tests purified gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed to the whole world. Now, my personal thought of the last part, Jesus Christ is revealed in the world, that means that you have a testimony out of your situation, that you're able to say it wasn't by anything I've done or even my own strength. It was by God and His grace and His love, and He was able to bring me out of this situation. So the most important thing that I always take away and I try to reflect on in suffering is Jesus Christ went through suffering, so we have to experience that same thing. Now, our suffering may not be on a cross, but our suffering is our suffering, and we don't necessarily reserve, in my opinion, the right to judge what suffering is or isn't, because everybody is at a different capacity as far as personality, mental capacity, things of that nature. So let's make sure that we're not, just because a certain person is going through a certain situation, that you will say, oh, they ain't nothing. Don't do that, because you don't know the person's capacity or what they've been through or the triggers that they're experiencing. So we have to make sure that our faith is pure, in the right place, that we're reflecting on God, that we're in a place to know that, okay, this is for God's purpose and glory. So let's just always keep that in mind, that even though we're going through difficulties and situations, and of course this is much easier said than done, you want to make sure that, okay, God, I want to depend on you during this situation. And oftentimes our situations reflect our belief in God, but it also reflects how we believe in ourselves. So let's make sure we're considering all of these things when we're going through situations and circumstances. And the sun shines on the just as well as the unjust, so we're going to have an amount of built-in suffering in this life. That's just the way things work, and it's unfortunate because some people, in my opinion, seem to go through a lot and have difficult seasons, but sometimes we're bringing those seasons on ourselves, and we have to make sure that we are in the right place spiritually and mentally. So suffering, while it's not good, it can produce evidence of Jesus Christ working in our lives. So let's not necessarily, and I'm not speaking from a mountain. It's difficult to go through circumstances, situations, but our goal is to see God working things out in every situation, whether it's sunshine or rain. You need sunshine to actually grow a plant, but you need rain to grow it as well. So let's be encouraged. I know I spoke to a friend and I was encouraged afterwards, because God has a way of working things out. You just have to trust it. You just have to trust that He put things on the inside of you that are going to allow you to work themselves out. And everything that we go through is for us to will and do of His good pleasure. So let's just keep that in mind. And of course it's not easy all the time, but it takes standing rooted in the Word and in prayer. So let's make sure that we're encouraging each other when we see each other struggling, going through difficulties, temptations, situations. Let's not be quick to judge, but let's be quick to love and show the love of Christ in them. Thank you everyone for watching this video. This was random, and I hope it helps you, because it's not easy to go through such circumstances, situations, even if you feel like you're doing everything right and it's still happening to you, you're still going through, and you're seeing the world prosper. That's another difficult point, but God has something in mind, and even if we don't see it right then and there, it's going to come to pass eventually. And even in the worst situation, there can be some redemptive way God brings things about as far as change in our lives. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. And be sure to check out my blog down below in the description box. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you like this video. And share it if you feel like it'll bless somebody or help them. Thank you so much, guys. And God bless you. I'll see you in the next video.